Hello, hello, ladies and gents. Romie Mojo here. Please like, comment, subscribe. That thumbs up is much appreciated. Okay, so it's happening. It's being reported that Joseline Hernandez, the Puerto Rican princess herself, is joining Love and Hip Hop Atlanta once again. Now, if your memory is short because there's just been so much going on in the world since the last time Jocelyn graced our presence with her being on Love and Hip Hop. I'll remind you, she was with Stevie J at the time. The debacle had to do with them being married, or at least them continually saying that they were married. And what ended up happening with that was that we found out that it was one of those marriages of, oh, let's go to another country and get married, but it's not legally binding in the United States. And they kept going on with that. They had fights with multiple people. It was just an ongoing thing where it was this toxic relationship with Jocelyn and Stevie that eventually ended. And Jocelyn did get pregnant. She had this baby because if you remember the first time, she didn't have the baby the first time. It was just so much. And she really brought an energy to that show that was undeniable when she graced the stage. And we wanted Jocelyn to win. We wanted her to win so bad that even when she was going and acting erratic and doing all this other stuff that maybe we wouldn't have normally approved of, it was because it was Jocelyn. So we were like, we love the Puerto Rican princess, and we just want to support, show love, show love. That got toxic. That got crazy. And it got to a point where we just couldn't do it anymore. And neither could the producers, because production, as long as you're making them money and not causing them too many problems, they will keep you on. Jocelyn, she left the show. She left the reunion. She didn't want to film. She cursed out Mona Scott Young and the other production. She fought some of the production, but that was an ongoing thing. And because of all of that, it took all of that for them to finally say, no, we can't do this with you anymore. And that's when Jocelyn decided she's going to mosey on over to other networks. She's going to try WeTV. She's going to try working with Carlos King, see if they can come up with a couple of shows. There was a couple of concepts. It was like Jocelyn Take on Miami. Jocelyn, what was it? Jocelyn, there was just so many variations. We saw one was supposed to be focused on her career and her music. Another one was supposed to be focused on her acting career. One was supposed to be just focused on motherhood and her daily life and her other family members that we only started to see towards the end of her tenure on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And nothing ever came out, at least on a network, because how it works, a lot of people don't realize it. How this works is you go and you shop your show. So you shoot it, you shoot the pilot, you shoot the script, you shoot the concept, and you give them ideas for potential commercials, marketing budgets, all of that. You take it to a network, and the network goes and greenlights their not so that they can put it on their programming and local markets, nationwide markets, there's all these different variables. And the whole concept is now advertisers have to come in and say, hey, do we really want to put our products and put our names, attach it to this show? And how many viewers do you think this type of content will bring in? How consistent will it be? How large of a budget does the show need in order to... It's all those different things, i.e. Basketball Wives and the debacle that's been going on with there for years. Now we get to this stage where it didn't pan out. I don't know if it was because from an advertising standpoint, from a potential rating standpoint or not. We saw Jocelyn. She was on recently Married to Medicine, of all things, because she's friends with Buffy. And we were just trying to figure out, okay, what's going on there? Really, what's going on there? And we find out that, again, Jocelyn had another show opportunity, and it just seemed like maybe this one will work, maybe this one. But alas, nothing did, and she's coming back. The only reason why I gave that backstory is because I always find it interesting when people who go and, yes, I'm not Jocelyn, so I can't say how her personal experience was working with production at VH1 and Monami and dealing with producers and what they wanted, the direction that they thought that they were going to get based on previous and prior conversations. I don't know. So I can't go and just act like maybe it was just 100% all Joseline. It could have been a lot of her and maybe some of them, or maybe it could have been how they reacted based on what she wanted, or vice versa. Also, Stevie J. Stevie J was a mess at that time. Stevie J, we know he was doing drugs and just living a wild life, and Joseline was there for the ride, and Joseline, we felt like, was partially financing it. Stevie J now, he's married to Faith Evans, and things seem to be going pretty well with Mimi and with Joseline and with his other family. And so he's in a great space. I don't know what direction they're going to want to go in. So my question for you, we're 5 minutes in. My question for you is, should Joseline really return? Because the other portion to this is that they're saying she's going to be making initially a tenth of what she was making. Now, mind you, the ratings for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta are not the same when it was at its absolute peak. So that plays a big part in your salary for these shows. But it's being said that Joseline was making up to $2 million as far as the salary. Again, we don't know the details regarding all of that. We don't know if that includes absolutely everything or whatnot. But she could initially come in with a secured amount of around $200,000, and then that could be prorated based on the performance of the season, based on her fulfilling her commitments to the show. So with all said and done, she could be looking at a seven-figure opportunity if everything goes well. Again, this is not 100%, but this is what's currently being reported out there. But based on how Joseline's life has been going, and I did hear a recent rumor that she had an altercation at, I believe, a strip club that she was trying to manage or help manage. And I don't know if it was a random fan. I don't know if it was 100% true. I don't know if it was for the cameras to drudge up more excitement for a show that she was recording and trying to put out. Who knows? All I know is that the career that, honestly, Cardi B has, a lot of people thought that maybe a Joseline could have done that because she had CBJ. He's made a lot of hits in the past, and she's likable. But the music side never came together. The acting side never came together on the mainstream. Joseline was the main person in her own way. You can overall be yourself, but when you are being asked to represent other people by representing their products, representing their different brands, representing all of that, you have to realize, maybe I can't fight everyone. Maybe I can't curse out everyone the way that I would normally curse out everyone. There's so many things that you have to keep in mind when you're in that type of situation. And that was the main issue with Joseline. Joseline was still on 100 when she should have dialed it back down to 10 to get the big checks, because she was getting good checks, but there was low-hanging fruit checks. So now, let's say she goes back on Love and Hip Hop. She does a real reset, a real life reset. And what is going to be, do we want to just see a happy, chill, relaxed Joseline on that show? Is that what's going to bring in money and more opportunities for her? Does she need to play it cool? Does she need to work with new producers and put out some catchy songs so that she can get something going there? Is it more so her just doing overall damage control? Like, what do you think Joseline's goal would be if all of this is true and she does indeed go back on the show? Do you think it will actually work out? Or do you think that she'll slip back into what we saw prior to her leaving and, mess up her life again? Because she has a daughter now, so she can't do too much within reason, because there's always the issue of parental rights, and that is serious. As we've recently seen, now more than ever, your rights can get revoked like that, or reduced, or reduced. Yeah. Here's what I want to see. I want to see fun Joseline. I want to see her hanging out with the cast. I want to see her cracking jokes. I don't need to see her going and starting a fight every 5 minutes. That's not what because Joseline is funny. She's funny and she's entertaining. So she just focuses on that and cracking jokes on other people's expense. Perfectly fine with that. Standing up for herself, of course. But we don't need her caked off. We don't need her going off. Or do we? Or do we? Is that what Love and Hip Hop, or at least certain franchises of Love and Hip Hop, is that what it's truly about? Because even in the beginning seasons of each series, there was fighting, and there was fighting. So, is that what needs to come back? I'm just asking. Is that what needs to come back to revitalize some of these franchises? Because there is ratchetness right now, but it's not the same ratchetness that we got. Because everyone's older, they don't feel like going and entertaining the same mess they used to entertain. So that's all I wanted to bring up. Please like, comment, subscribe. Again, my name is Romie Mojo. A thumbs up does wonders for the video and for my channel. And I hope you like the green screen. Probably gonna be doing more of those. Yeah, thanks.